Coming up on today's show, we're going to discuss Greg Hardy and all his second chances with MMA, and we're going to discuss Maury Langshaw's reasons why you should stay with your husband and or boyfriend after he cheats.
Welcome to the Routes in Relationship Podcast, where we are the sports podcast giving practical relationship advice. We talk sports and help couples reach their ultimate relationship goals. And now your hosts, who are both fired from good government jobs.
Fired. You're fired. You're fired. You're fired.
Both divorced.
We gonna celebrate what? My divorce. How about that?
And both with 3 kids. Maury Langshaw Sr.
What do you know about love? What do you possibly think you know about love?
And Mia Mignon.
It's funny to hear a female talk about routes. Hello,
and welcome back. And as you heard in our intro, we are going to discuss Greg Hardy, and we are also talking about Maury Langshaw's list of reasons why you should stay with your spouse or boyfriend after he cheats. But first, let me I'll let him introduce himself.
Hi guys, Maury Langshaw here.
Maury Langshaw. And you can find Maury Langshaw and myself, Leah Mignon, on routesandrelationships.com/podcast, or Routes and Relationships on Instagram, Routes_ships on Twitter, and patreon.com/Routes and Relationships to support this show. And as always, subscribe to us on YouTube.
Consider supporting the show, fam.
Thank
Appreciate you guys.
We do. And we are going to get started on Greg Hardy right after Maury Langshaw gives us our sponsor information.
Oh, the sponsor, GreatTravelLife.com. You guys heard of GreatTravelLife.com? First half of the show is brought to you by GreatTravelLife.com. GreatTravelLife.com is your travel site for providing a one-stop shop for all your travel needs that you need to hunt for your next luxury vacation for non-luxury prices. If you feel comfortable finding your own low-cost flights, booking your own discounted hotel suites, booking your own cruises anywhere in the world, rental car discounts, even discounted shopping through Amazon, then head over to GreatTravelLife.com and start hunting for your next luxury vacation for non-luxury prices today. GreatTravelLife.com.
All right. Great Travel Life, Greg Hardy.
What about Greg Hardy? This is very odd.
Greg Hardy has been in the news lately because, according to most, Dana White being one, he's such an extraordinary athlete with such extraordinary athletic ability that he deserves a second chance, and he's going to get his second chance in MMA.
You mean his third and fourth chance or fifth chance?
Well, they labeled it as the second chance, but
Greg Hardy's had his second chance.
he did have his second chance with the Dallas Cowboys, which he called a bully. They were a bully for him.
Who, the Cowboys were a bully?
The Cowboys themselves weren't bullies, but just being a Dallas Cowboy was like having a bully on his back because it allowed him to party because he had an excuse because I'm Greg Hardy, I can do what I want, so I'm a Cowboy. So basically what he was saying, being in the Dallas Cowboy world, in the Dallas Cowboy setting, it wasn't good for who he really is. Which he can admit that, but he can't admit that he did anything wrong to begin with.
Because maybe he didn't.
Well, did you see the images? Did she throw herself into a wall? Did she get hit in the face with? No, I'm sorry. He claims that she hit him with a high heel shoe.
So she got bruises from hitting him with high heel shoes?
Yeah, he said originally that she was swinging high heel shoes at him, and all he did was just reach his hands out for my YouTube viewers and put his hands on her shoulders and said, "Stop this. Stop, you have to leave me alone." And I threw her outside. And that was his reasoning and his excuse. And she had black eyes and a busted lip and finger marks around her neck from being choked. Just all because he put his hands on her shoulders and said, "Stop," and threw her outside.
Well, you know I'm a big Martin Lawrence fan, right? You remember his movie, A Thin Line Between Love and Hate?
Yes.
Where his he had a little situationship with the chick.
Yes, with Brandy
And-
Webb.
Yeah, right. And she ended up really falling for him. He's like, whoa, hey, I got a girl.
Yeah, well, he wasn't.
And and she did some things to herself.
Yeah,
Right.
but that wasn't the case though.
Well,
Because
according to Greg Hardy, he was pressed about this because he is on record after this whole instance, after he's left the NFL, and I quote, "I've never put my hand on any woman in my whole entire life, no sir."
just like Bill Clinton didn't have sex with that woman.
Right.
Right.
And then when he was pressed after that, because that type of answer, if you've seen the images like you alluded to, you would think, well, if that's the case, how do you explain the pictures? Greg Hardy said, and I quote, "Pictures are pictures, man. And they can be made to look like anything."
Yeah, just like hearing him in the background of a 911 call cursing her out, and you can hear the noise from the neighbor who said, "You need to hurry up and send somebody over here real quick because the woman next door is getting her ass beat." And all you hear is boom up against the wall, her scream, boom gets thrown up against the wall, her scream.
Right.
But he didn't put his hands on anyone. Okay, maybe
Hey.
he didn't. Maybe he just threw her up against the wall and the wall blasted her eye and busted her lip. Maybe.
And then at the end of the day, the charges were thrown out. So
Yeah,
what are you
because
gonna
she
do?
didn't testify on appeal.
What are you gonna do?
Then he paid her not to testify on appeal and
Not to show up.
not to show up, and she
Wow.
didn't show up.
She didn't show up. Oh, okay.
Yeah, which is kind of a slap in the face to domestic violence victims, because if you really wanted him to pay for it, then you shouldn't have never taken that money and let him get convicted. But
How do you know?
that's a different story.
How do you know that she received money? How do you know that she was like paid off for?
Because they said that it was an undisclosed settlement. He
Who
was
was
given
that?
an undisclosed settlement back when he was getting ready to sign with the Cowboys or sign with the Cowboys. Back then, right before the Cowboys picked him up, it was stated that it was an undisclosed settlement there. That's
See,
why
here's a critical thinker in me, and let me put a little disclaimer. I don't think Greg Hardy's innocent of domestic violence charges. However, looking at the facts of the case, where the truth shall set you free, evidence was brought forth. They needed witness testimony. No witness testimony. Charges were thrown out. He wasn't convicted of any crime.
his conviction was thrown out.
The-
Say that. His conviction was
Okay.
thrown out.
His
on
conviction was thrown out on appeal.
appeal. Yes.
Therefore, he's an innocent man of domestic violence charges.
Yes.
Hey, what are we gonna do about it? They're like, what can you just kind of gotta suck it up? Like, he's innocent.
Well, that was Jerry Jones' argument. Hey, he wasn't convicted, so what you gonna do? He's an extraordinary talent. I'm gonna bring him in. We need help on our defensive line and bring him on over. So that's what he did. So, undisclosed settlement, civil settlement, and he needed a job, and there he was.
Right. Now he's with the UFC.
Search UFC part of Dana White's.
Oh, the
fight
Tuesdays
search.
thing.
Yeah.
The up and coming Dana White's Tuesday contender, next contender.
Yes, him. That.
Yeah, but Greg Hardy's kicking ass over there though.
Yeah, he won the first round knockout. What is he, 3-0 in his 3 fights?
No, that was in what you call it, the LFA.
Oh, okay.
The Legacy. He was 3-0 over there, and he knocked everybody out in the first round. And Dana White said, "Oh, wait a second,
Let me go get him.
let me go get him."
And he got him.
And he got him.
He fought Austin Lane, right?
And that's his first UFC fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And knocked him out in the first round. Matter of fact, you got to see the Dana White reaction.
Was it like Jerry Jones when Greg Hardy finally made a sack against Tom Brady?
What did Jerry Jones do?
It was like a, oh my gosh, sigh of relief kind of celebration at the same time. So like, oh my God, this was a great idea. Kind of like, and that's what Dana White probably had. Thank you, Jesus.
Dana White sitting at the table watching the fight, and he said, "Oh," and jumped back. Actually got up and walked. You know, he walk away looking back at something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's Dana White.
That was a thank you, Jesus moment.
But I'm saying, what is the UFC going to do though? They have McGregor in limbo. They have Who else is? Ronda Rousey's not there.
No.
John Jones he can't stay off the crap.
No. He's
So all
crazy.
their big names are out. So what is UFC going to do?
Take Greg Hardy and
Right.
he'll fit right in with all the other domestic abusers that's running rampant through the MMA community, UFC community.
And there's a lot of those motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Good gracious.
Yes, it is.
I was reading about the earlier today about why it was a bad idea for UFC to sign Greg Hardy. And throughout the article, they're talking about all the other women wife beaters in the MMA.
Oh yeah, it's
In the
a couple.
UFC, I mean.
It's
I'm
a
like,
couple.
wow.
It's a couple of them, and then it's what's her? I know her name is Jessica Rose Clark.
Who's that?
She got she was dealing with, I think his first name was Juan. I can't remember his last name. It's escaping me. But they were a couple. They were together. I don't know if they were married. I think they were just in a relationship.
A
They were-
situationship?
No, they were in a relationship.
Oh, okay.
And she brought home the wrong noodles.
What?
The wrong kind of noodles, and it set him off, and he was
Wait a second.
kicking her ass and finally put her in the chokehold, and she said, I kept tapping his arm, and she realized every time I tapped, he got a little lighter. So she's a UFC fighter herself, so she ended up going into
God.
protecting herself mode and ended up getting to the point where she could get loose, kick him, and knock him out cold. And she called 911 on him. But yeah, and
So wait a second. She got all that because she brought home the wrong noodles?
she brought home the wrong noodles.
See, I'm trying to tell y'all. Don't fuck around with the noodles.
Don't fuck around with the noodles. But she's
If I
highly
want
upset.
linguine, don't bring home spaghetti, goddammit. Suffer the goddamn consequences.
She's highly upset that Dana White decided that he was going to bring in Greg Hardy, and she feels as if that, you know, that he's taking domestic violence lightly.
Of course he is. He's a man.
Yeah.
Most men do.
Yeah. Well,
And the owner of the UFC that paid $4.2 billion for them, yeah, they're in business. They're in business. They're not hashtag Me Too.
yeah, well,
So
her boyfriend
Hey.
should probably get some help because he let his girlfriend, which I'm so glad she did, so she was able to get away, you know, drop kick his ass and knock him out. That's what he needed. So,
well, Derek Lewis got something for Greg Hardy.
well,
Derek Lewis is waiting. They asked about Derek Lewis, the UFC heavyweight. He said, "Yeah, bring him on. I'll fight that motherfucker."
yeah, well, he needs to. He needs to fight somebody.
He said, "I like knocking these wife beaters out." And Derek, you know what? And I'm and following this little story, I've become really intrigued in this. Because
Yeah.
Derek Lewis is talking shit. All the MMA, not all, a lot of MMA fighters are women beaters.
Yes, they are.
So imagine that promotion. That's gonna be a nice little promotion with Greg Lewis. I like to beat. I'll fight any woman beat out there. I'll show you what it's like to be beat.
Well, I for one would probably pay for pay-per-view to see that one.
I think I'll see that one too.
So that's enough time on Greg Hardy because he didn't even deserve that much. But I did want to put that out there for all of the women that want to do something with themselves about domestic violence and all of these hashtag Me Too's, like you said. Get on the Greg Hardy kick. Find something to do with yourself with the Greg Hardy kick. So
Yeah, boycott, maybe. Protest.
yeah, protest that.
Make the signs. Make the signs.
Yes.
Ban Greg Hardy. Ban Greg Hardy.
Yes, please.
But then you're gonna ban 20% of the UFC fighters too. So
Well, hey,
Hey.
that's what it takes. That's what it takes. So, we are going to get your list of reasons why a woman can benefit from
benefit
Yes.
from forgiving
how she can
a
benefit
cheating
from
husband.
yes, the benefits of staying with the cheating husband.
Oh my gosh, this is a tough one, guys. This is a tough one. I'm going to admit it up front. My disclaimer, this was a tough one. What is the benefit of a woman forgiving her man for fucking another woman?
Well, no, see, now you're talking about having sex. It doesn't necessarily have to be with just having sex. It could be spending some quality time with her because he's able to talk to her, or he feels comfortable with her, or maybe he wants to bungee jump and the wife doesn't want to bungee jump, and since they bungee jump, like he just has an emotional connection with this woman, or most men do fuck other women, but some
Is
don't.
that right?
But some don't, and
A lot don't.
And they, they have friendly conversations with quote unquote friends.
I need to see your phone.
You need to see my phone?
Yeah, I need to see your phone.
Why you need to see my phone?
You're spouting this off like it's normalcy.
Well, it depends on, for me, it depended on the relationship. It was normal. I could talk to other people being in the relationship as long as we didn't sleep with each other. That was my thought process.
Lord have mercy.
I could text him and say, hey, good morning, what you doing today? Oh, you want to go to the bar later? Oh, okay, sure. I'll meet you there at 5 o'clock. Sure. That was okay for me back then.
But you had a boyfriend.
I did have a boyfriend.
See?
Yeah, my boyfriend knew that I was going to the bar with the bartender and his friends. So...
With the bartender and his friends. So you made like a group outing, even though you was on a date with the
I
bartender.
was not on a date with the bartender. There were times that I was just alone with the bartender, but...
Right, it's a lot of times. Like all the time.
Not all the time.
When you had a boyfriend.
But I did have a boyfriend, and the boyfriend knew about who the bartender was. And I even used to text the bartender when I was at the boyfriend's house.
Right, so should he forgive you? Because you were... So what you're doing with the bartender in your story, to relate it to the subject matter, were you cheating on your boyfriend with the bartender?
Are you asking me that now, or are you asking me that a couple of years ago? Because a couple of years ago, I didn't believe that I was cheating on my boyfriend with the bartender. Now, he was uncomfortable with it. But
Right. You know why he was uncomfortable with it?
What?
Do you know why he
Why?
was uncomfortable? Because you were cheating on him. And he knew it. You can't...
But
So your boyfriend said, this is your boyfriend right now. Back then, this is your boyfriend. When you say, I'm going to the bar with the bartender and his friends, yada, whatever you say. He says to himself out loud, to you, he's not talking to you, but he's looking at you and he's mouthing words to you.
Yes.
He's really talking to himself. He's saying, so he's going to go out on a date? Just tell me about to go on a date.
But I'm not going on a date. I'm just going to go meet some friends at the bar at happy hour, and you know where I am. So there were times where I even said, you can come to the bar with me.
What dude's going to go to the bar? Oh, well, clarify this. Were you sleeping with the guy, the bartender, or any of his friends at that time?
No.
Okay. Did you previously have sex with the bartender or any of his friends before that?
Yes.
Okay, so let me understand this. Should you forgive, relating back to the subject matter, should you forgive your boyfriend for cheating? So you had a sexual relationship
Long before him, yes.
Before your boyfriend?
Yes.
And after the sexual relationship, you became friends with the guy you had sex with. And
yes.
Y'all were good friends. Then you got into a relationship with the boyfriend. And now, the boyfriend, you and the sex partner still communicate as friends, and you still hang out, even though you have a boyfriend right now.
Well, you can't call him sex partner because we stopped having sex years before I got this, years ago. Then I, like you said, got this relationship. But yes,
right.
We hung out. The sex partner was in a relationship of his own.
Right. So you just weren't having sex with him, but you still communicated with him.
I still communicated with him.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So back then you didn't think it was cheating.
Back then, no.
So as a 45-year-old today with a podcast talks about sports and relationships, were you cheating back then?
Yes. When I look back on it, yes. I was boldly cheating back then.
Of course, yes. That's what I've been saying for years. You're right.
I was boldly cheating back then, yes.
So should he forgive you? What are the benefits to forgiving? This could be a short show.
Yes, you should forgive me.
Yeah, this could be a short show. But there are benefits to forgiving your spouse. For one, it builds your own personal growth, because it's very hard to knowingly accept the fact that someone you entrusted with your heart did something that you would never agree to and actually abhor. To forgive that, it's tremendous personal growth on your part, on a woman's part.
Yes.
Second, why it could be beneficial to forgiveness. If you have older children, and I say older because when I say older, I'm talking about maybe preteen, teenage type children, not infants. Because I never, as a relationship coach, never say stay together for the children. But when I say older children are much more set in their ways. They understand more, so therefore you can take a chance on staying in the relationship.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
It makes a lot of sense.
Third or fourth, which one I on, is lifestyle. If I provide, or the guy, I don't like using me as an example. If a guy provides a certain lifestyle that you wouldn't remotely have on your own, that is probably the number one reason to stay in a relationship after you find out he's cheating on you.
Mm-hmm. The lifestyle.
Right, because if you're making $30,000 a year and you have a 565 credit score and you drive a 2007 Hyundai, but when you guys are together, you ride around in an S550 and you can pretty much stay in this house 3,800 square feet whenever you want.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's hard to give up.
Yeah.
So that could be a reason why you kind of want to stay. It's like, you know what? I'm really mad at you, but I forgive you.
But
I really love you.
well, is that for just because he cheated one time, or is he a serial cheater?
See, that begs the question. We didn't clarify that up front because that's a whole new scenario.
Yeah, if it was well, let's just stick with if he cheated one time.
Yeah, it's easier to do. There's of the women that are willing to forgive their man for cheating one time, probably, and I'm guessing, I don't know, I haven't done any studies, or I don't have any studies laying in front of me. I would say, 20 or 30%. A man that cheats 2 or more times, that number drops significantly. Because the problem with forgiving a habitual cheater is that he never respects you. Ever respects you. And he's going to continue to do it. Once if you forgive somebody 3 times for the same thing, he's going to say to himself, wow, I can do what the fuck I want to do.
Yeah,
she ain't going nowhere.
That's too many chances.
Yeah, that's too much. You have to, as a woman, you have to have some type of self-worth, some type of value of yourself where you're just not going to accept certain behaviors. And until that happens, he's going to continue to do what he does. It's the old cliche that you get what you accept. You keep on getting what you accept. If you don't tolerate this stuff, then bounce.
Be out. I'll be 5,000, G.
So, and the last thing I'll say on why it's probably beneficial, because the older you are, the more set in your ways, the less likely you are to find true love. Not saying you can't, but there's a higher probability as you get older that you will not find another companion. So I actually call that stage like, what's next? Mm-hmm. So if I decide to leave you because you cheated once, what's next for me? I used to tell my ex-wife, like, I'm not really, you're not gonna find, nobody's gonna date anybody with three infants. Sorry. So you're gonna be single. True. You're gonna be single for a long time.
That's not true.
I'm saying just because of my own ego. It was just being mean and break up and not seeing my kids. Being prevented from seeing my kids. You tend to say mean things.
Right.
And I used to say things like, that's why you'll never have a man. Because no man's going to date somebody with 3 kids under 6 years old.
Yeah, well, my ex-husband told me the same thing.
Right. And, to a certain point, he was right. Well, I was right. Your ex-husband wasn't right, but I'm still right. But I'm...
Pew, pew, shot.
Hey, it is. Give me my kids. Give me free access to my kids, and I will stop the same mean thing.
Yeah, that's a whole different story. We should probably get into that because a lot of women need that advice as well. but that's a whole different topic. Let's kind of stick with cheating and why you should forgive the man for cheating.
Yeah, I said those reasons. I said this was going to be short because cheating is it's not even about sex when you're cheating.
Well, what is it about?
It's about trust. Like, I entrusted you. This is our agreement.
Mm-hmm.
You know, sex is intimate between us. And I entrust you to not have sex with anybody else. And you've had this conversation. You wanted to be monogamous. You wanted to be committed. You wanted to be in this relationship. And then you go do this.
You go out and have.
Right. You just break all the vows that we said we weren't going to do. Mm-hmm. So it's more about the trust than it is the actual physical act of sex.
For the lady, when she's trying to forgive you and dealing with it. Because you clarify that. Because men say, I just had sex. It was just sex.
Well, that's dumb. When men say that, that's just dumb to me, and I'm a man. And I get it. I totally understand why they're saying it. But that's such a dumb answer. That's such a 2-year-old answer. That's such an unintelligent answer.
But
it was just sex. What's the big deal? It's just it's sex. It's sex. It's like, and this might not even make sense, but it makes perfect sense to me. It's like arguing Jordan versus LeBron. Jordan is 6-0 in championships, and all Jordan fans say is that argument. He's 6-0 in championships with 6 MVPs. And LeBron fans say, that's the only argument you need. And it's the only argument I need. So
right.
It's the same thing here.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I believe that it's just sex is a dumbass answer.
Right, exactly. It's just like 6
MVPs
is not the only answer. It's just like, you say 6 MVPs, 6 championships, like, and that's it. And men say, it was just sex, it's just sex.
Yeah.
Like, it's dumb.
Right.
It's dumb.
It's dumb. I need you to say, I had sex with her because her ass was fat, she was attractive, and I wanted to fuck her. Rather than say, it's just sex. Don't tell me it didn't mean anything. It did mean something to you at the moment. You may have felt guilty afterwards, but at the moment, it meant the world to you because you risked what you had in the background to go have sex with this person. So it wasn't just sex. So I get it. So
that's it. That's all I have.
Okay.
Because that's such a. I don't want to get off topic. It's so easy to get off topic because we're talking about why it's a good idea to stay together. It can be a good idea to stay together. What reasons are there to stay together?
For just the one-time cheater, not the serial cheater. The serial cheater, you can kick his ass to the curb ASAP.
Yeah, guys like that. I can't even argue for them. I can't even defend them. And I can defend a lot of people. I can defend men and women, both sides, for a lot of stuff. But to continually do something that you know is hurtful, I can't defend.
I agree. So, to recap, the lady should forgive because of what now?
Mainly lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
Maintain your lifestyle. Because at the end of the day, it's going to be hard to continue or maintain that type of lifestyle that you're accustomed to. And if you're saying, I ain't getting that lifestyle, well, if you could, you would have. But you didn't. You're with him. And he cheated. So maintain the lifestyle. You can do it for the older children. Mm-hmm. Older children. Your own personal growth. If you're willing to forgive somebody for an egregious act like that, that just shows your character. Mm-hmm. Kudos to you. And when you look at the future, you say to yourself, what's next? Do I really want to do this whole dating thing all over again? Do I want to go on Plenty of Fish and Tinder and Match.com and in the bars all over again? Mm-hmm. And now you're older. So,
well, and then
things to think about.
Yeah, and he may actually be remorseful and you'll have a better relationship in the end. So.
Yeah, if he's remorseful, yeah. That can happen. I've seen that happen.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
Sincere remorse.
Sincere remorse.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So, Maury Langshaw's going to leave us with his famous joke of the day.
The famous joke of the day!
Yes, the joke of the day.
Since we're talking about families and husbands and wives and cheating, and let me tell you guys this. This family was sitting at the dinner table, right?
Yes.
The son asked his dad, "Hey, Dad, how many kinds of boobs are there?" Why are you laughing already?
Boobs, okay.
Boobs.
Yeah.
Yes. The father was like kind of surprised, like, what? You asked it in front of the whole family. Like, wow, what? Why? He said, well, son, a woman goes through 3 stages, 3 phases in her life. In her 20s, a woman's breasts are like melons. They're round and firm. In her 30s and 40s, they're like pears. Still nice, hanging a bit. And after 50, they're like onions. Son says, onions? What do you mean, onions? He's like, yeah. You see them, and they make you cry. This pissed his wife off. His wife's like, the daughter said, like, Mom, Dad just said, do you hear what Dad just said? So the daughter asked Mom, how many different types of penises are there? The mother smiles and says, well, dear, a man goes through 3 phases also. In his 20s, his penis is like an oak tree. It's mighty and it's hard. In his 30s and 40s, it's like a birch. You know, it's flexible, but still loud. In his 50s, it's like a Christmas tree. The dog's like, a Christmas tree? He's like, yes, dear. It's dead from the root up, and the balls are just for decoration.
That is hilarious. On that note, we are out of here.
Peace.